Right, it has been termed as the return of the Lord of the Skies. The head of state is expected to be jetting out tonight. Destination Germany in search of greener pastures for the Kenyan youth. All this are happening on the eve of his 2 year in office, because tomorrow is the day that President William Ruto was sworn in 2 years ago. My name is Brian Amwai. This is K24 Evening Edition. But first, top stories. Tonight on Evening Edition.
I observed when you walked in, I was very, very worried. You are not carrying any documents. So that we need to see what the pleadings in those cases are.
Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir appears before the Senate Transport Committee without documentation on the Adani JKA arrangement, with the secrecy shrouding the deal rising by the day. Government refutes allegations that over 70 students from Hillside and Arusha boarding school are missing following the fire outbreak.
Tuko na mashahidi ambao walishuhudia kijana akipigwa risasi, na tuko na bullet entry that you've also confirmed.
Also tonight, police in Mukuru kwa Ruben allegedly shoot and kill a 15-year-old boy following a scuffle after they demanded for kickbacks from local traders.
The elected leaders from this region and its diaspora, on our own behalf and that of our people, unanimously resolve that our link to the national government to be the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, Professor Kindiki,
and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's ambition to become Mount Kenya kingpin suffers a major blow after 48 MPs from the region threw their weight behind Interior CS Kindiki. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Clement Muli. Remember, you can be part of the program by engaging us on our socials. That is at Amwai Brian on X, at K24 across all social platforms. We'll be sampling your feedback as we continue with the program tonight. Let's begin. Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir today found himself in unfamiliar territory after appearing before the Senate Transport Committee without proper documentation on the Adani JKIA deal. As Ian Ketani now files, the CS was slammed by senators, terming his decision to appear empty-handed as unacceptable.
With the government under immense pressure to make the documents on the Adani JKIA deal public, with the entire deal shrouded in mystery and secrecy, Transport CS Davis Chirchir was today set to reveal key details and documentation regarding the deal. But in what seems like a complete disregard of concerns raised by millions of Kenyans, the CS showed up before the Senate Transport Committee empty-handed, claiming that the matter was in court and therefore the committee ought to hold on to the sessions.
While preparing to submit the documents, I was advised by my technical team of some developments that would possibly wish to do some housekeeping and confirm first whether we can prosecute this matter while there is a court case that was served on us.
This begged the question on how could a CS who on Wednesday claimed that the government had attempted to communicate about the deal in recent weeks appear before the committee to shed light on the matter without documentation. In what Chirchir thought was a smart move in explaining the decision to appear without documentation, the CS threw himself from the frying pan to the fire.
If you had a court order that is dating back to July, you should not have addressed yourself to the matters yesterday.
The sub judice rule can only be introduced if one of us brought that issue to the floor of the House. Otherwise, if it is the CS who's demanding, nothing stops this committee to demand the documents.
One of the questions that the committee sought to know is about labor-related issues. The matter in court does not even touch on the issue of labor-related. So why would the CS want to run away from giving that responsibility?
I observed when you walked in, I was very, very worried. You are not carrying any documents. So that we need to see what the pleadings in those cases are. It could have nothing to do with the matters that we want to discuss here today.
His actions could only but justify the concerns of Kenyans in regards to the government being out of touch with the reality. The senators did not take any prisoners.
Now, can you submit the documents?
Unfortunately, we did not come with the documents because we do not know the direction of the ruling.
For instance, if you do not know the outcome of a matter,
yes,
you prepare for both outcomes. if he knew that the ruling could go either way, then the documents should have been somewhere here. If we say we can't look at it, he pulls them out.
We expect you to do better than CS Murkomen. So you should start at the right footing. Don't start the way Murkomen used to mess all of us, Mr. Chair.
This is a court. I hope you understand that.
The committee was forced to adjourn its sittings, with the CS ordered to furnish the committee members with proper documentation and appear before it tomorrow morning.
My secretariat, they're saying they can actually wait until 6:30 today. But for us to get an opportunity to go through them, provide both in soft copy and hard copy. So to appear here before the committee at 9 a.m.
Ian Keitani, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has strongly refuted allegations that 70 students from Hillside and Arusha boarding school are missing, now following a devastating fire that destroyed a boys' dormitory last Thursday. Now, the tragedy, which has left the nation in mourning, resulted in the death of 21 boys, with the government promising swift action to ensure justice is served. Mariam Jahid now reports.
Continues reeling from last week's tragedy at Hillside and Arusha Academy in Nyeri County. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kindiki Kithure has maintained that all students have been accounted for after extensive tracing and processing of data.
The government has nothing to hide.
The school has a total of 843 students, of which 330 are boarders, 164 boys and 166 girls. Out of the 164 boys from grade 4 to 8, 143 are confirmed alive, with 140 currently with their parents.
Any other person trying to play whatever game, trying to advance some whatever other statistics, is a heartless criminal and an enemy of the society. Because when we are hurting at a time like this is not the time to bring triviality.
Kindiki has also vowed that those responsible for the fire outbreak, as well as any failures in duty, will face justice.
That this catastrophic event was caused by a person. We will pursue and get justice on behalf of the families and all those people who may have contributed to this tragedy through action, inaction, conduct, misconduct, advertently, inadvertently, will be brought to account.
This comes even as Chief Government Pathologist Johansen Odor conducted postmortems on the remains of the 21 boys who tragically lost their lives in the inferno.
All of them had varying degrees of burns, which were caused by fire. So upon doing the autopsy, because what we noted that they were unidentifiable, meaning that because of the fire, it was difficult for the relatives to really identify who really were their children. So with that, we shifted to the laboratory, in which now we have taken samples for analysis.
The parents of 2 students who succumbed to their injuries in hospital were present during the postmortems.
They'll be compared with the samples which were taken earlier from the fathers and mothers of the disease, which now will be reconciled, so that now we'll be able to see whose child is whose.
The counsellors from other agencies have been able to support the affected families with psychosocial supports, counselling, and the ability to assist them come to terms with this tragedy and this loss, which of course is irreplaceable.
The government continues to investigate the cause of the fire, with the affected families said to wait for a month to identify their loved ones and give them a befitting send-off, even as the government promised to cater for burial expenses. The planned demonstration at the school today, intended to call on the government to expedite the investigations, did not take place.
Currently, as we are here, the police are guarding the scene and investigations are on.
No kids, no school! No kids, no school!
Mariam Jahid, K24, Nyeri.
Now, a section of Marikiti traders in Nairobi are counting losses following a standoff that ensued between them and the county leadership. The traders staged protest opposing their relocation to Kangundo Market. And as Milia Kisienya now reports, the standoff led to burning down of the county's general store office next to the market.
This was the situation early this morning. What should have been a normal market day turned into running battles between the police and traders from Marikiti Market in Nairobi County. A short notice of their relocation to Kangundo Market, spiking rage amongst the traders, leading to the destruction of the county's general stores. And barricading of some section of the road leading to Nairobi's CBD.
Kangundo ilijengwa kitambo na watu wa huko already wameoccupy. Kwa hivyo hata hakuna mahali mtu anaweza hata simamisha hata personal nje.
Hakuna vita tuko nayo, hakuna mambo tuko nayo. Wametuletea tear gas. Tear gas karibu sana. Wanatutupia hivi chini. Hiyo ndio kitu ile makosa wanafanya. Wanatupa chini, umesimama hivi una mambo, unasikia kitu imelipuka chini yako. That's why tunauliza, kwani ni kutuua amekuja kutuua?
Siwezi toka Kinoo niende hapa mahali kwingine tena nitoke hapo mahali kwingine nifike town tena nipande gari kwingine. Hiyo itakuwa imeniadhiri.
As we speak, it has enough space for over 5,000 people. It has no people. We are moving these people there because that is an infrastructure that has been lying idle.
The traders feel strained and are in great distress following the losses incurred. An estimated of 20 million Kenya shillings in revenue was lost and 200 lorries tolled with fresh produce.
Kama saa hii niko na mzigo imebeba 800. Iko pale kwa parking ya forward. Na sasa huko hata sio kwa kanjo, ni kama kwa mtu binafsi. Juu nalipa kanjo 7,000 pande. Haya, parking nayo nalipa 2,000 pande.
Lori ya TZ imejaa machungwa, ni 800, imefugwa leo, haitafuguliwa kesho. Huyu gavana bado hata simu zetu tumejaribu kupiga usiku hachukui.
The traders have vowed to halt their operations until their demands are met.
Sakaja soko ni kubwa kuliko. Watu ni wengi. We have thousands. Na hakuna mahali tunaenda. Juu we know here. This is our home. Tumelelewa hapa miaka, wazazi wetu wamekuwa huko. Yeye ni nani amekuja sasa hivi kututoa? Akuje atengeneze soko ikuwe mzuri na ikae na parking badala ya kutoa watu.
We are not relenting on the issue that the wholesalers must relocate.
Meanwhile, the standoff has raised eyebrows from the political class, with Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua urging Governor Sakaja to end the mess. However, the Nairobi County leadership is remaining adamant.
I want to condemn them in the hardest possible words because these were opportunistic politicians who thrive in disorderliness, and we will take them personally liable, especially for the arson attack on our facility.
Milia Kisienya, K24 TV.
Now, away from that, President William Ruto has launched the National Climate Resilience Program, which aims to create job opportunities for 200 youth countrywide involved in environmental projects in their communities. Also known as Climate Works Mtaani, the initiative seeks to enhance the livability of Kenyan cities through the greening of urban spaces, cleaning and rejuvenation of rivers around them. Timothy Simwa reports.
Ruto was in Korogosho, Nairobi today to launch Climate Works program along the heavily polluted Nairobi River. The head of state says Climate Works is a powerful, incisive and transformative intervention aimed at achieving ecological restoration while maintaining public infrastructure and housing through labor-intensive and sustainable public works.
Our vision for Climate Works is to activate talent and capability in community service, entrepreneurship, employment, and further education. Climate Works will be a platform where diverse skills and competencies are applied to climate action and community transformation.
According to Dr. Ruto, the first phase of the project will create employment opportunities for youth in Nairobi County when it kicks off on October 1st next month.
From since 2017, hadi saa hii si tumeishi tumevolunteer, hadi wengi wetu mabibi zao pia walitoroka kwa sababu unapata unakuja enyewe you are doing this thing by passionate, lakini mfuko yako unaenda home bila kitu.
Vijana 20,000 watakuwa katika hii mpango. Baadaye tutaongeza vijana 10,000 katika sehemu zingine ambazo haziko katika mito hapa Nairobi.
In essence, Climate Works will complement the efforts of Com Green Youth, an environmental conservation group in partnership with the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, to clean up the Nairobi River. In a month, the head of state is promising to take the initiative in other cities, including Kisumu, Mombasa, Eldoret, and Nakuru.
Alafu itafuata zile counties zote kufikia pale Disemba, ili tuhakikisha kwamba hawa vijana wanapata nafasi ya mapato na pia wachangie katika kukabiliana na matatizo ya mabadiliko ya mambo ya mazingira.
By December 2024, the government intends to have launched the project across all the 47 counties that will bring on board at least 140,000 youth.
It aims to employ 200,000 young people, young men and women from every part of Kenya in the development of critical infrastructure and environmental projects within their communities.
Climate Works further aims to eliminate illegal dumping of solid waste and discharge of effluents in urban areas and make communities resilient to adverse effects of climate change.
All of us, if you are going to be polluting the river, you must prepare to make sure that you are held to account and you pay for it, so that we can keep the river clean and everybody becomes responsible for their behavior.
Timothy Simwa, K24 TV.
All right, that story by Timothy Simwa takes us to our first break here on the program, but don't go too far, because when we come back, I'll be telling you a thing or two about how police brutality has led to the death of a young man aged 15 years here in Nairobi. Don't go too far. Continue engaging us on our socials at Brian, that is on X at K24, across social media platforms.